What are you fascinated in? What fascinates you? My name is Cho, and let me tell you what used to fascinate me. I used to get fascinated of how many people can the planet accommodate? How many people can live on the planet? Okay, because I was so interested in it, and what made me interested in it was World War I, World War II, and the previous other wars that used to be here: Emperor's Wars, the Napoleonic Wars, the Roman Empire wars, and all this sort of thing. So I was very interested in those, so I can be able to have an idea of, because when I trace down all of the wars, they all come down to fighting for food and for survival and killing the other, because just like the animals, you're killing the other because you feel like you cannot be able to have your food security if you don't kill the other. I don't know, something like that. It looks to be like the kind of like American idea of life. I don't know, but it's not American. America is very new to the game. It's like 200 years. America is like 200 years, and America, in the way that America operates, is about 150 years old or so. Okay, the system is been going on and on and on for like thousands of years. Okay, so it's just a question of maybe, okay, so which ones are doing it, how, and what's going on, whatever the case may be. But that used to fascinate me. Okay, so I wonder what fascinates you, and I'm gonna give you a second to think about it. Many things, right? Right. Let me tell you what fascinates me today. What fascinates me today is, it's many things. Amongst other things is this the discussion around income, money. Okay? And the discussion around money. And for me, the discussion around money, I read for many times. One of the book that is essential that I would recommend for anybody else to really read that book is a book by Robert Kiyosaki. You know the book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki. See, that is a key book. There's a lots of things to take out of that book, okay? And if you want that book, I can send you the book. Let me know in the comments somewhere. Let me know if you want the book. I'll send it to you somehow. This is particularly what is interesting, or what my take was out of the book. My take was this: it's pretty simple. There's lots of things to take, but my take was how to grow money if you have some, or how to make money if you don't have some, and how to make money without you being the slave for the money, but the money being there to generate money for you. So that it's not you who's generating the money, but it's another money that's generating you money. That's the take out of it. Okay, so this answers the question. For me, what answers the question is, there's this rhetorical question where people, they ask, okay, so what am I going to invest? How is myself supposed to invest, because I don't even have the money to invest? There's two answers to this question, and there's no any other answer other than two answers. And that is, well, okay, fine, then nothing you can do. I don't know what happened to you. I don't know what was supposed to happen. Then don't invest, don't do anything. That's the first possibility. The second possibility is find money somehow and invest. There's no any other third possibility to it. There's no any third possibility. Only two possibilities. Don't do anything about it, or find money and invest. And if you don't do the other, it means you're going to be doing the other. You cannot be in the middle. There's no middle. There's no any other thing you can do other than either of the two. Okay? So you cannot start to grow money that you did not even start to create. You have to create the money and then grow the money. Because you can't say, I'm growing money that is not there. Okay? Now, so it means this talks about the 4 quadrants. Those that have read Robert's book, they know about the 4 quadrants. The employee quadrant, and there's the employee quadrant, there's the self-employed, the business owner, and there's investor. 4, right? Yes. And he explains that, okay, and it turned out to be obvious with this right now. This is 2024. Some stuff must be obvious, okay? So you choose basically where you fall under these 4 quadrants. You choose to be the employee, or you choose to be the self-employed, or the business owner, or the investor. So the question here is time. The variable, the difference in these people is time. How much time do each have? And how much control of the time, of their time, do they have? These 4. Who owns your time? Who owns your time? Who owns your time? Who owns your time? How is your time being used here? How do you use your time yourself here? How does this one use their time, this one and this one? This is what makes the difference of them, okay? The second difference is how much money can you make when you are at either position here or quadrant? Because this is true reflection of the actual life that we live. This is not theory that comes, this is not philosophy, okay? This is practical life that is happening even as I'm talking to you. There's an investor somewhere who's making money. There's an employee somewhere who's being employed, who's at work right now. Then there's a big business owner somewhere who's owning a business right now, who's probably having a shareholder meeting, whatever. And there's a self-employed somebody here who's probably busy right now working, trying to get their business, and in the morning he's in the business, and then in the evening they leave. But which is one of the difference that also comes up. One different time, who owns your time management of the 4. The second aspect to it is, what is your activity in it? How much effort do you involve? How much effort do you have in these 4 quadrants? Okay, so how much do you have to do? What is your contribution in there? Which talks to the effort in that case, okay? How much work does it go in? Are you the one that's doing all of the work? Are you the one doing all of the work? Are you the one doing all of the work? Are you the one doing all of the work? Or in this 8 hour that you put into work, you're going to put 8 hours into work in expectation of how much? 8 hours in expectation of how much? 8 hours in expectation of how much? 8 hours in expectation of how much? Okay? So we're going to go to the how much, but it's connected to the contribution as well. Okay? But that's what makes also the difference, the contribution. What is the thing that you're going to be doing? Okay? Which the book doesn't really emphasize a lot on that. It's a take out of it. Okay? The third part of this is, of course, the monetary value. What are you doing will determine what is it you get out of it. Okay? So it talks, therefore, the monetary value. How much is it coming from where you are in this quadrant? How much are you getting? Can you make $1 million here? How long can it take you? Can you make $1 million here? How long can it take you? Can you make $1 million here? And can you make $1 million here? And how much? How long can it take you to do that? You're earning a salary here. You are self-employed here. You saw it. It means according to the book. All right. You are earning a salary that you are paying yourself or the business somehow. This is the most stressful part of this quadrant, by the way. Okay. You have got a salary here, but somehow you are paying yourself. You are the one that determines how much you're going to get and stuff like that over here. Okay. And you cannot get more because your business is not running itself here. When you're self-employed, it means your business needs you to be there. Okay. And without you being there, the business does not go. That's what self-employed means. Okay. This is different as owning a business, because owning a business, it means the business is running itself. and it's got people that are running the business and you are owning the business. Okay, so that means you can decide whether you're going to be at the business or you're not going to be at the business, or when do you get to attend the business and how. All right, so you have got all of the time to be in charge of the time. All right, and number 4 is investor. Same thing. Do you have to be there at the business or not? And what is your contribution to it? Okay, then you realize that when you observe, you therefore now see that this one employee puts a lot of time, a lot of their time, and small expectations, small returns out of working for long hours, out of putting more hours to what they call their work. This one. Okay? And this one, similarly, it's just the difference because somehow they've got a sense of control of their time and their decision making. They can be able to at 1 o'clock set another appointment and go attend that appointment without having to explain to supervisor or without having to explain to somebody else why they have to go there or whatever the case may be. Okay? Now talks to time. The money here, the expectations are less because if it's about you being there doing the business, you can earn so much. Okay? This is a business owner. So a business owner would usually, it would mean your business is producing money. And that means when you're in this particular situation, you can therefore be able to have multiple streams of income. And you can be able to be managing of the multiple streams of income. This is the most important part, isn't it? Okay? And that means you've got more potential to earn more as a business owner because you have got the business running itself without you being there. And that means you can allocate your time to other things. And obviously, if you are focused, then you will allocate your time to other multiple streams of income with that time. Okay? Now, the 4th one is investor. Now, investor, obviously, in these 4 quadrant, investor comes up as the champion, comes up as the sigma of the squad. Okay? And this is real life that we are living. Investor, this means you have got a certain amount of money. You're going to take that amount of money, you're going to put it somewhere where it is guaranteed. Okay, it may be whatever amount of risk you are taking, but if it is guaranteed, the better. Okay, I'm not saying you should not take risks. You must take risks. You must take risks. Okay, investors knows what risk is and what does it mean and how to calculate it and how to somehow find how to find the correct answers after the calculations of the risk. Okay, if you are an investor, you must know that. You must know how to calculate risk. Okay, I'm not talking about calculating risk in terms of the numbers. Okay, now I'm talking about you, because it takes a certain level of logic also to be a calculative investor. All right. Okay. Now, for me, this was an eye-opener, okay? Because now I can be able to classify this pretty much easier. And this is because of, this is the guide I got from the book, okay? This is the help I got from the book in terms of how do I then classify this? Because before I encountered the book, I was asking myself a simple question and I was wondering about it, okay? And I was wondering about why haven't I been taught how to make money from primary school? Okay? This is fascinating. This is what I'm fascinated in right now. Okay? I'm fascinated in why at the primary school I wasn't taught about how to make money. I went to the high school. At the high school, my teachers did not teach me how to make money. They didn't even talk about the subject. Okay? Then you go, this is a real life situation that happened for me and that also happens for many others. Maybe I'm talking from a perspective of a young black man with, we like darkies and, so you don't really get that, okay? But we are living here. This is life of everybody. The same economic structure, society, we are all subjected to. So therefore, I feel there's no any difference in how we must be able to learn what is supposed to be learned in terms of how to work in this economic system. Okay? Story for another day. But I was fascinated in the teachers at the primary school did not teach me this, didn't even touch the subject. The teachers at the high school did not teach this and I did not touch the subject. I'm even talking about the teachers and the people that went to take business studies and economic studies and accounting studies at those elementary schools. They were taught how to manage books, how to balance books, how to do this, how to supply and demand chain, supply chain this, supply chain that, a few stuff, but except a specific part. And that part is how to make money. This is a specific part, guys. How to make money is a specific part. It's a small part, but it's a huge part of the entire thing. Because what money are you going to manage if you don't have any? Therefore, you realize, okay, I've been taught how to manage somebody else's money. Or how to be an employee who manages monies of others or monies of a company or something like that. You know, an accountant who got a job, like a degree accountant, master's, something, they will be happy to get a job where they are being paid a lot of money by a big company than them being happy that they have got a business where they are balancing their own monies. Or oftentimes, I don't come across that. I come across many accountants after like 20 years, 25 years of experience, 30 years of experience, and they say, this is when I'm starting to work on their business and stuff like that. But some maybe 10 years, they start to work on their business. Yeah, this and that. Beautiful to see. Okay? The primary school, the high school, you go to the college level, the university level, college level. Also, these guys did not talk about making money. These teachers there, they never touched on the subject of making money. I'm saying even this in the studies of business. Maybe somebody can say, oh no, Cho, wait a moment. You only studied media. You were like a media guy. So you studied media, you were doing media stuff. So in media, they cannot teach you how to make money, of course. But I made a research and I found out that even those that took the business studies, accounting studies or financial studies, they were not taught on the specific subject of how to make money. They know everything about how money maneuvers and stuff, but the specific part of how to make the money, how to create money, okay? Not how to print it, like creating it like the printing, okay? But how to, from zero, how do you start to have 1 rand upward from zero? From 0 rand, how to make money from 0 rand to start to have 1 rand, all the way to 500,000 rand, or 500 million rand, or 500 billion rand. That subject wasn't touched. Not only it wasn't talked about a little bit further, it wasn't touched at all in all of the levels, okay? And you've got this level up to the university level, up to the college level. We have the 5th level. The 5th level is at the work area, what we call the marketplace, okay? The marketplace, the place where all of these 4 levels were preparing you to be there. Okay, according to the system, these things prepare you to be here. You are being prepared for the marketplace, which is what the universities and the colleges and everybody else, they're all about. They want to achieve. Okay, even at that point where is in the marketplace, still your supervisor, your manager, your business owner, your boss, your colleagues, your friends, the security guy, the tea making guy, or anybody else here, the driver guy, whoever that's there, who forms part of the society of you being there at the workplace. None of these people is teaching you how to make money. None of these people touches on the subject of how to make money. These people, they might as well, I'm not saying they don't know how to make money. Even the teachers back there on all those I've talked about, maybe, I'm not saying they don't know, which most of the time they don't, but that's not what I'm saying. They might as well be knowing, but they don't talk about it. They don't discuss it with you. They don't tell you that. I mean, these ones are teachers, for goodness sake. The ones that are obligated are the teachers. You see, these ones, they might as well know how to make money, but decide not to share that with you. Decide not to talk to you about that. Whatever reasons that make them decide that, it's something else. But these ones are teachers, are operating within a system that is called deliverance of education. They're supposed to teach you something else that has to do with something of you growing up, having a life of a grown-up person. Isn't it that's the case? Now, money involving just about everything about our lives, but it's a subject that all of these teachers, they never touch about. And quite frankly, it's a little bit crazy because I am thinking about it. I'm thinking, actually, all of those teachers, they should have been like 90% of them, and 90% of the time, they should have been teaching me how to make money. Like 90% of them and 90% of the time. Maybe the other 10% can be teaching other stuff like morality, can be teaching a few things like a logic, reasoning capacity, society, behavior, this and this. Okay, and I'm not talking about a bunch of the things that we were carrying the lots of the books for. I'm not talking about all that's junk, all of it. The 10% could be something to do with just about how you live as a person in the society. How do you operate in a society? How to maintain your emotions. How to understand your emotions. How not to be scared of information and data. Because how to understand that you live in a data information environment. How to understand the planetary systems. How to understand the galactical system. How to understand the universal system, universal laws. How to understand natural laws. How to understand the basics of metaphysics. Now, things like metaphysics, it seems like a big study. Oh, you're studying metaphysics. You're checking out metaphysics. Oh, this is metaphysics. What the heck? This is basic stuff of life. Metaphysics is basic stuff of life. Must be taught at the primary school, at the high school. Metaphysics. It must be taught to children. So children, they can have a clear idea of what reality is and what reality is not. Or what reality is and how does reality work. Now the young people, they learn all of those ideas from the media, from the television. Which the television has got a camera and people that are acting up there. None of the stuff there is really real because people are there and the other people are acting. But the society, its mindset is programmed by that. Okay? And you cannot blame all of the young people when they're learning all of this stuff from the media. Because where else should they learn that stuff? The very same media must tell them that, oh, you need to read 10,000 books. The media doesn't tell them that. The media tells them about a new song that is being released and they need to really, really go jive for that song. It's a new song. It's hot song. And this is the dance model or dance style for it. This is the style for dancing for this song. After 2 weeks, another song. Yes. After some time, something else is trending. Every day there's something to be busy, to consumed about. There's something going on. Oh, this one is going on. Oh, the politician, this one said this. Oh, this one has said that. Oh, this one, they replied back. Oh, this one is say, oh, hey. This one is say this. You must always be engaged in those things that are happening. Instead of wait a moment, calm down. You're supposed to be creating money. You're supposed to be making money. Because here's the thing, if you're not making money, you're going to ask for money. Because you're going to need money anyway. Alright? So it's either you're going to ask for it or you're going to go steal it. You're going to have to steal it. I was telling to the other gentleman the other time, we have a discussion. I tell them, you see, if the people in 2020, you remember the looting, when people were going into the malls, breaking the malls, taking food, when there was lockdown. I was telling this gentleman, I was saying, you see, you can see this as criminal. There's many opinions about it. This is a criminals. This one's a criminal. This is crime, pure crime, blah, blah, blah. The journalists were there with their mics. Hey, this is how do you do this crime? And the police guys also were there with their vans, arresting people, putting them in the vans, putting them in the prisons. Somebody shooting them, shooting like a young mother who's carrying some pumpkin, some pampas and maize meal, shooting that woman, the police, with his gun. How? Hey, Nota, when's njani? Why are you shooting this? He's just having food. He's just hungry. He's going to eat the food that you also want to eat, and you're going to eat in the evening somewhere. Okay? But you are putting the bullet inside that person. That's what the police were doing. We saw them, right? So I was talking to this gentleman. I was saying, the reason we saw people do that, the real reason, okay? Not some politically correct reasons, okay? But the real reasons is these people, they were hungry. And there was no alternative in how they can sort out their hunger. And this does not suggest that they were supposed to break, and they are right to break into the shops and to break stuff and vandalize and take food by force. Obviously, that's not right. Obviously, that's not the way to go. And that's why we are saying talk from the action perspective and not from the reaction perspective. What is it that should have been done in order for this not to happen? Instead of, this is wrong, it was not supposed to happen. Okay, it was not supposed to happen. What must have happened then? That's the question. That's what we want, as me and you, I want us to think from that perspective of what should have happened that could have prevented that. And two things could have happened. Two categories of what should have happened. The other category is those people individually, they were supposed to do something about their lives. The second other area of reasoning about it is there was somebody else who's responsible to make sure that that doesn't happen in terms of the societal scheme that we'll put together, such as creating governments, having governments managing monies, and we paying them the tax, and they're supposed to use the money of the tax in a particular way that comes back to the people. This is how the system is set. I've seen many people who do it for the politician or protest against some service delivery or something, or politicians don't do this, or government don't do something. They behave as if they are asking a favor from the government instead of actually reminding or telling the government that we have had an agreement that you are going to be the ones that are operating here and operating on the money that we are going to be giving you through the taxation. Politicians and government, they don't have money in their pockets and do things with it from their pockets. Okay? They don't use their money to implement whatever that they're implementing, like building roads or whatever, any particular thing. They are using the money that we have agreed that when people are employed or they're in the marketplace, they are generating money in the marketplace, whether through business, through service and goods of services, offering or buying and stuff like that. There's a money called taxation that's been paid, which trickles down to some of the money that goes to the government in order to be able to afford to do those things that we agree that the government must do as we live as a society of people, right? It's not like it's a favor that we're asking for him or we're asking for the politician or we're asking for the government. No, it's not like that. It's just an agreement, you know? It's just an agreement. It's just business we're doing, okay? So there's that reasoning. Individual reasoning, structural responsibility reasoning. Most of us, we are trapped a lot into the structural reasoning. No, you were supposed to do this. That guy stole the money. You were supposed to put the money. Hey, the other one hacked the tooping the account. He's the one who gave you the tender back to the tender. He stole the tender. The other one is not the public service is bad. This one is this one is Zulu. This one is Pedi. This one is Tswana. No, it's journalist asking political analyst, what do you think about it? Me, I have a PhD from vets. In terms of my thinking, what I'm seeing here is that. Okay, yeah, you politician, what do you think? Yeah, next time we're going to. We were supposed to, but we're going to. you know? So this one has got a lot going on. It's not easy to solve it. It's not easy to even try to deal with it, okay? And it's a little bit crazy and it's big, okay? Because I'm saying these people, they're not using their money to do the things that they are supposed to do as expected by society. In fact, if anything, they actually take the money that belongs to the society to themselves, okay? Which is another topic for another day, okay? They're doing the opposite, okay? If anything. But topic for another day. This is what I'm interested in. I'm interested in this part, not so much in this part. I'm interested in this area of what is it that the individual people were supposed to have done themselves. Pretty simple. They should have figured out how to make money. They should have figured out how to make money. Am I missing something? If the people knew how to make money, then they were not gonna go break and then take the stuff that needed money to buy. They will probably not even need to compulsively buy that stuff and get them as huge as they are. They will just be relaxed about it. And you might say, okay, now what do you mean? How were they supposed to make the money? Because the place where they're supposed to be making the money is the place which these people, it hinders them from making money, which is also a real point. Because the government representatives and other people, they can hinder people's independence of making money. This is true, and that's your favorite radio host and Mang Mang who are talking too much. They don't touch about it. Okay? They don't talk about it. They don't talk about how government can hinder the independence of making business or doing business of individual people in many different ways, whether intentionally or unintentionally. But the systems that are set in place, they can be systems that hinders business. Okay, not that then after that we're giving opportunity about something. No. Wait with the opportunity. The people know how to do something that they want to do for themselves. Everybody is born with a gift that if they pump much focus onto the gift that they have, it's gonna produce money. Many people have got more than one gifts. In fact, every human being live with the nature that has given them something that which if they are able to focus with it, it's gonna give them money. Nothing complicated about it. There's nobody who say, no, I was just born to be an employee. There's nothing else. Or me, I was just born to beg or ask for other people. Oh, I was just born for this. No, you're not born for that. That's only what you know about you. That's what you know about yourself. It's not what you're born for, because you don't really know fully what you were born for until you explore fully. In fact, even if you explore, you never even reach the full capacity of it. I'm saying you cannot reach the full capacity of you as a human being, what you're capable of. You cannot reach it until you probably pass over. That's the truth. One man who once said, we are not scared of not being adequate. We are scared, or we are something like that. We are scared of not knowing how that we are adequate beyond measure. Something like that. I think Nelson Mandela said something like that. Which emphasizes that you can never know what you are capable of until you do it. And every time you can do it, then you can be able to do it better and better and better and better anytime you do. That's just how it works. And if you don't do anything, you become better and better at doing nothing. Okay? So improvement doesn't happen if there's no any action happening in whatever that needs to be improved about. Let's get back to this area. Okay? Here. where the people must know themselves and what they need to do in order to have reserves. The simple answer is these people did not have stockpile of food in their houses. There was announcement, there's gonna be lockdown, there's gonna be closure of everything, blah 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 blah. People went to stock food, other stock things, stock tissues. You remember that time? Stock stuff. That's that. Those that had their money, they were doing the stockpile, but the others could not do the stockpile because they did not have the money to have those reserves. It all comes down to, do people have got money or people don't have money? And I have observed a trend where you need to understand that here's the thing. The position that you take is the position that you're going to keep. It's a trend right now that Africa and Africans are supposed to be the people who buy stuff the whole time and not produce stuff, but they're the ones that are buying the stuff all the time. Topic for another day, because I want you to just think about that for a moment. Because in the economy structure, you can either find yourself in either of these certain situations. In a super capitalistic structure that we have, you can find yourself in either situation, whether you are a consumer or you are the producer at some level, or you are within the ranks of the producing, or you are at the ranks of the consuming. Meaning you are going to be the one who are getting money and use all of that money and go work for it again and then get it and then use it again, push gone, and then go work for it again and use it, all of it, push gone, and just live it like that. As long as you're dancing to a nice song, like buying lots of alcohol, No, not right. Okay, not right. Okay, or you can find yourself in this situation where you are producing 1, 2, 3 things. Probably when the money comes up, it doesn't run out all together, and then you go work for it again. It probably comes up and you can be able to use 20% of that or whatever percentage of that, and the rest of the money you can invest it, or you can put it to some other way in which it's going to be able to produce another money. This is real life situations that you can find yourself in. These are two scenarios that you will most definitely find yourself in any of these two. So there's no way where you're going to live somewhere where you're not either this or you're not this. Okay? It might just be a little bit of a version of this of a certain kind, or a little bit of a version of this of a certain kind. But these will be the two categories, whether you are the ones who you are expected to spend the money, or you're the one who's expected to get the money from somebody that spend the money to you. And it's just a reality of things, okay? So that's what fascinates me. What fascinates me is the so much lack of education on how do we make money. That's what fascinates me. I wonder what fascinates you. Right now, what I'm fascinated in is, why does it seem that the subject of how do you make money is so not talked about where it's supposed to be talked about? Like, let's be honest, guys. Isn't it is a goddamn money we need? Then why don't, I feel like 98% of our topics, they must just be about money in life. Okay, maybe that's a bit of exaggeration. I give it 90%. Okay, I give it 90%. Maybe 10% we can talk about something else. Cleaning the water, cleaning the seas. Yeah. But 90% needs to talk about the money. In this ever-shifting, material-based economy world. We need to. Unless if we're saying, okay, no, we don't mind when our survival is not in that good. We're not surviving good. We don't mind. You know that situation where you realize that now people, they can get used to a situation where, I don't know if they've already gave up or whatever, but they can be able to live within a situation where they not pursuing making money anymore, or they're not pursuing making money. They probably have got a job. Maybe they get, as long as I can be able to buy some groceries at the end of the month, I'm not starving, and all of that, and I can pay, my insurance is paid up. People worry a lot about their insurance not paid up. Paid my insurance, paid my bills, my what you call this, all those things that are taking the money in the banks, all those companies that looks like you're supposed to pay them. This has been rigged. This has been hacked. Trust me. It's crazy. But that's what happens, ladies and gentlemen. That's what happens. I'm sorry. But that's what happens. Okay? That's what happens. That's what happens in the real world. Okay? I wonder, why are we not every day talking about how to make money? Is it because we don't believe that making money is something we need to be doing? Or we don't believe that it's something what's the reason of it? Because in the end, we need the money. Because if you don't make it, you're going to ask for it. Or you're going to take it somewhere. You're going to want to take it by force or some tricks or some other way. If you don't make it, when I say making money, I'm talking about being in the marketplace. Okay, being in the marketplace where there's an exchange of goods and services. Okay, this exchange of goods and services, such as I sell you this, you sell me this, we exchange this to produce this, we are collaborating on this to produce that. I am putting money into this so that this can be produced, and then this one can generate money out of this ones, and money will end up here. That's what happens in the marketplace. It's not only exchange of physical goods or like, oh no, I'm selling physical. No, services, exchanging services. Right now, the marketplace is being made to be only reserved for a few. The rest of the people, they are at the working environment place. I don't know what we call it, labor place. A whole lot of people are looking for jobs. And by the way, this has been a culture, and it's just a bit of an advice also, you see, to South Africans to say, you see, if we can be able to reduce a lot of looking for jobs to looking for business opportunities. And business opportunities, and when I say business opportunities, I'm not saying you're looking for you to have a factory in 3 months, or you're going to apply something, fill up some forms, and government give you 2 million rand funding so you can start a catering company. No, not something like that. If already you know how to prepare food, like as a catering, somebody who wants to do catering stuff, you need to therefore put together your services and offer your services in exchange for profit. If you can really execute on those services successfully, the way in which somebody else will feel worthy of paying, you have done business. You've done business. You've done business. You don't need to fill up a certain form and wait for after 2 years, though the funding is opened someday, or I need to be helped through, I'm going to go business incubation process. My business is being incubated. No entrepreneur wants their business to be incubated. Business incubation is for people that run business or business managers, I don't know, but it's not for entrepreneurs. Incubation is not for entrepreneurs. There, I said it. Okay, we do business incubation as one of the company that I work for, but we don't. I don't personally recommend business incubation. It just so happened that it's service that people come up and they're looking for it. I was listening to the other gentleman, Sbusiso Dlomo, on another podcast. He was saying, so he was criticizing the ownership of land, of something about that the business, or in the business of land, we all find the land here. Okay, so the land doesn't belong to anybody. We were born and we just find the land here. Okay, but somehow other people have got the ownership of the land, and they doing business of their land. That is sound a little bit scammy and criminal in a sense. Okay, and then so Meg G asked him a question. He say, so you never do business in property and land? And so he was like, no, I've got property business. I've got property business. I've got land business. So because life is not fair. I just laughed at that. I just listened to that. I just laughed at it. It's like, well, fair enough. Fair enough. That's what it is. If somebody else comes over here, they're looking for, had this other gentleman back in the day, back in the time, okay, I'm not gonna share the story because it's a really crazy story, but a gentleman came to me looking for a very funny service from me, okay? And this service, the resultant of the service wasn't that good, okay? But my job was just to facilitate the technicality and the technology that he needed in order to achieve that he wanted to achieve. And you know, he had money, and I was like, I don't like the outcome of this. I don't like the outcomes of this. You know, I told him I don't like the outcome of this, you know, but I can offer you the service, you understand? So I offered the service to a certain point, and then I could not go further with it because I don't like where it's going with the outcomes that he's intending for, okay? And we end up not really doing business well, me and him, and we end up falling out of business because I kept on not being okay with what he was intending to do with the technology that I was giving him and the software I was giving him and the service that I was giving him, okay? Of creating a somewhat of a software, as a website. It was something creating around a website and having a particular kind of a functionality of a technology that is supposed to do some things, you know, whereby he was not running the actual, or rather the business itself was causing human harm in the end of the business, was causing a harm because he was reaching out to people in a way that he was recruiting people, and he was going to like physically recruiting people to go and be in a certain place and do certain things, and I didn't like that. So somehow in the adult industry, okay, okay, so I couldn't feel good about it, which differentiates what we do in the marketplace. In the marketplace, what makes the marketplace is not only the exchange of the goods and the services, it is also the ethics that governs the marketplace. Because without the ethics that govern the marketplace, then there's no marketplace to have. There's going to be a jungle. It's a jungle. It's a jungle. It's like, oh, dog eat dog. I just take this, you take this, I do this, I don't care. But if there's ethics in the marketplace of this is how the marketplace works. And I'm not talking about rules and laws. Rules and laws are different, are not ethics, okay? Ethics are not rules and laws. Ethics are bigger than rules and laws. Rules and laws are smaller to ethics. Ethics are all about you and your thinking that you need to develop yourself to a certain point of logic that can work for the marketplace for everybody. So ethics are for maturity of doing business. Laws and rules are for obedience. And most of the time, laws and rules, people, they want to break them. They want to break the laws, rules, and stuff like that. It's because usually they are restricting and stuff like that. And that's fine. But still, you need to go by the rules and the laws and stuff like that. But I don't really like them. I like ethics, okay? I like ethics because ethics, they talk to you. How do you see it from a matured perspective? Do you see a triple win in this situation? Do you see yourself winning, somebody else winning, and somebody else winning? If you're dealing for three of you in the deal, if you're two of you in the deal, do you see a win-win situation? Do you see a middle grounds that is going to be there for everybody? Or is going to be a transaction of a give and take, not a create and take? Difference. All right, give and take, create and take, different. All right, because if we give and take, it means somebody else gets, somebody else loses. If it's a create and take, it means we are both creating and we are sharing. Now, this is the philosophy of the new marketplace, I'm saying. So if you're going to be going to the new marketplace, you need to go with that philosophy, or else you're not going to survive. Because for the very first time in the near future where we are going to be more honest than we thought. We are going to be more honest than we thought in doing business, or else nobody's going to do business with anybody. If you're not honest, you're not ethical, you are not going to do business with anybody. Trust me. In the near future where we're going. Because there's another friend of mine who once told me something. He said to me as we were having a discussion, back and forth discussion, we were just wondering, talking about AI, and this is like talking about AI and the transformation of labor markets and a whole lot of things in the society transformation about how the society is going about, okay? Now we're having this discussion, and this discussion is like about 5 or 6 years ago, okay? And this is what he said to me. So we were laughing about it because we were making fun of other people, okay? you know what happens? So he said, the near future that we are going towards is going to be a future where there's going to be like a clear separation between the wise and the fools in a major way, that it's not going to be gray area anymore where we don't understand. Are you wiser? Is what you're saying wiser? Is it foolish? Are you, it's going to be clear. It's going to be very clear, because there's going to be like those ones that are fools there and those ones that are wiser over there. And we don't know how we're going to handle this, okay? We don't know how we're going to handle this, but it kept me thinking when he said that. I'm not saying he's correct, okay? But I kept thinking about it, because it touches, when I do my investigations and I do my observations, I realize that it's got some fucking truth in it. It's got some kind of like truth in it, okay? Yeah. Because now, I think that's just what it's supposed to be. That's what it's supposed to be. There's always something, things we call them epochs, meaning the changing of times. Okay, the changing of times, epochs. Okay, it means there is an epoch for every 3 generations, 2 generations, whereby a major shift happens, even in terms of how the society work and how the society function. Not only generation from generation, takes 3 generations. Okay, not 1, not 2, because. For example, to give an example, the people that are still operating right now as adults are actually people that used to still live as adults or young adults in the early ages of 90s and 80s and 70s during apartheid South Africa. The parents who are still parents today, who are the major decision making, major influences in their children, each back and forth and stuff like that, they're still the parents who used to be in the apartheid time. Apartheid, so it's not that long, okay? People make like apartheid used to be in the history. No, it's just like 20 years ago, 30 years ago, something. Like somebody else who was like really, we still have like normal adults who are really running their families in the way that they come from. And so we haven't crossed a generation after. So the generation that's right now living is a generation that is just one generation away from apartheid kind of system of life. I'll just give an example about generations, okay, using the apartheid one, because it's also the most interesting one. Okay, but topic for another day. I want to know, you put in the comments and tell me, what do you think fascinates you around the subject of making money? Why do you think it's not popular in the schools, in the universities, in the elementary school and high schools and everywhere else? Why is it not popular to teach everybody how to make money, even if that's what's going to constitute 90% of their lives? And it's going to be the most necessary thing to do. There was a time, I remember, when I was at school, we had like a protest at the school, and we were protesting against the principals and that they did not deliver textbooks. Okay, we don't have textbooks. Almost like a whole term has gone by without textbooks. Okay, and there came a bunch of people there. Of course, white people. They came there with like bunch of boxes with cars, and we thought they bring in textbooks, and they park their cars there. They go very fast, class by class. They go everywhere, and you know what they gave us? They gave us Bibles, small yellow Bibles. They give every student, every learner a Bible. Like, if you want, you can take 2. I was so fascinated. I wanted to take 2. I was like, why are you guys giving us this? This must be really cool, right? Give me 2. I'll give somebody else somewhere. Yeah, like you don't mind if you say, yeah, give me 3. They will give you 3. But that kept me wondering, like, okay, but these are not textbooks. Why not giving us textbooks like this way, like the way that they're giving us? And if you want 2, I can get 2. And we must be excited about the textbooks receiving the way that we must be excited at receiving the Bibles, because then the Bible is not going to make me pass the goddamn exam. That was my mind at the time, still my mind now. Interesting. I'd like to know what fascinates you. Thank you. My name is Cho. Please keep making money.